What's up, guys? Bryan here. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm back, and I gotta admit, it feels good to be recording again. Stick around. Hey guys, Bryan here. Like I said, thanks for tuning in today. Now, it's been a while, but I'm back, and I gotta admit, it feels good to be recording again. I'd actually planned on doing it about a month and a half ago. Went out, bought a new microphone, got the camera charged up, got everything ready to go. Went out for a ride and bike died. Left me stranded on the side of the road. Long story short, ended up being my fuel pump. So that's what we're gonna be focusing on today. One thing that's gonna help you out when changing your fuel pump is having an empty tank. Now, I wasn't able to do this, so I had to remove the dry brakes to make sure that I didn't have any new fuel going into my reserve tank. Now, this did not empty my reserve tank, so I had to make sure that I had a bucket to catch anything whenever I actually removed the fuel pump. Guys, I know that I'm rusty. It's been a while since I made a video, and I know there's probably a few things that I missed, but if you stick it out with me, hopefully things will get better as we go. Now, that's enough of the talking. Let's go ahead, let's get out there, and let's pull this fuel pump. First thing that we're going to do is actually remove the battery, and it's just safer that way. You're working with fuel and you just want to reduce the risk of any kind of spark happening. So we'll take out the battery very first thing. Now that we've got the battery removed, while we're up here, we're going to remove this bracket here so that we can get better access to the fuel lines and the electrical lines and everything like that that run to the fuel pump. Now to do that, we're going to remove these two 12mm bolts. Once you've done that, you can take the cable for your idle adjustment and just kind of pull it out and set it to the side. Remove the cover to gain access to the reserve tank and the fuel pump. Now to do that, we're going to need to remove the 4mm Allen bolt as well as the tamper-resistant Torx bolt here, and that's going to be a T30. Once you've removed the two bolts, you can pull the cover, and on the back side of it, you've got the cable for the seat latch. So you'll want to remove that and then just set that cover to the side. Once we've removed the cover, we can actually pull out the reserve tank, and it's going to be connected by a couple of 10mm bolts here. There is one last 10mm bolt tucked back up inside underneath the battery box that you've got to remove too before you can remove the tank. This is a pain to get to, and personally what I'm going to do, which isn't the right way, I'm going to notch out my battery box to actually just give me a little bit better access to it. Now, I do want to show you really quick on the top of this fuel pump. This electrical connection here has a cover, so you've actually got to go on the side and kind of snap that cover out of place. Before you can remove the actual connection. To pull the reserve tank, we will be pulling the fuel pump first, so we will take out the 4mm Allen bolts that are holding it in place. I was not able to remove all the fuel from the tank, so you do want to be ready with a bucket, something to catch all the fuel that's going to come out when you actually remove this fuel pump. Now, while you've got the tank out, this is a good time, if you're really cleanly, to kind of get in there with some degreaser and kind of spray it out and kind of clean it up a little bit, some of these harder to reach places. Well, I temporarily painted my pulley cover with some rubber paint, and apparently it didn't either like the cleaner or the gasoline that spilled on it. So that's going to need a fresh coat. But now that we've got everything kind of cleaned up back here, we can take the reserve tank and stick it back in, and then go back in from the top and stick our fuel pump in. Reinstalling everything is just the exact opposite of the way we took it out. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna take the fuel tank, pop it in there, and then we'll put the fuel pump back in from the top. Once we put the tank in from the top, we can actually take our fuel pump and stick it back in, making sure we orient it right. Once we've got the fuel pump in place, we can take our retaining ring and stick it on. Now when you do that, you do want to make sure that you take note that the little dip in the ring corresponds to a little spot on the fuel pump. And once you've got that back in place, you can take those 4mm bolts and go ahead and bolt it back down. Now that we've kind of got everything back into place, we can really start buttoning it up. First off, we're going to take the 3 bolts that hold our tank into place, bolt those on, and then we can actually start putting in all of our lines and everything like that. Now last, to finish it up, we are going to put our bracket back on, and then we will stick our battery back in, fire it up, and hope everything goes good. Guys, thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully, even if it did miss a few parts, this video was able to get you through the process of getting that fuel pump removed and getting a new one reinstalled. Be sure to like and share this video, guys. And if you're not subscribed, scroll down and hit that subscribe button. If you hit that bell next to it, you'll also be notified to any of my new videos as soon as they come out. So the next video that I focus on is actually going to be getting into the LAS, the lean angle sensor. And we're going to kind of pull it out, show you what it does, show it how it works and everything like that. So be sure to be watching for that. Other than that, guys, we'll see you next time.